Welcome back to The Big Picture. Let's head back to the Buffalo History Museum to meet more of the inductees for the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Now we have a chance to talk to Mike Igoe, who is so well known in so many different fields here in the community. And Mike, what does it mean to you being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
You know, it really means a lot, obviously, Penny, but I think I didn't realize the importance of it until recently. I had an experience. I live in Chautauqua County now. I haven't lived in the North Towns in 4 years. Well, so I've been out of the media 12 years now. And down in Bear Lake, when I was walking along, a guy yells out to me, "Hey, Mike Igoe, was that you?" He comes up to me. One day he proceeds to tell me about just about every story I've ever done. And it's amazing that not only he remembered me or recognized me, he's telling me stories that I even forgot about. So, you know, when I think about it, the impact I was able to have on people's lives makes me feel very, very good when I look around. And same way when I'm up here in the North Towns, you know, driving around to see my grandkids or whatnot, I see people, places, and things that remind me of something I did that accomplished or solved a problem for people. So now I guess I've taken it to the next level, out of the media for 12 years, and I've been teaching during that time, and now I'm training the next generation of journalists. And, you know, even with all the negative feedback the students see, you know, our former president and whatnot, they still want to do it, and they still have a passion for it. So that gives me a passion to really hopefully get them up to speed and teach them what they need to know so they can be a successful journalist.
Is teaching or instructing more rewarding in a sense because, as you just said, you're going to make an impact on future generation and teach them, hopefully, the right way to go about being a journalist?
Well, they're similar in the fact that, you know, I've helped people in the past with their lives and made a positive impact, and now I'm helping people and it's going to impact them in the future. But they both have their own special rewards. But, you know, I fell into teaching. When I was still with the media, Buffalo State asked me to teach one course. And then when I left the media and I retired, they called me up and they offered me 2 more courses. And I said, well, this is fine, but I don't know if I want to be a teacher. I could be a teacher, but I found that I really did like it. And I found the kids were very engaged. You know, the things that I would probably take for granted because it was an everyday part of my life was a resource for them. And they were like, wow. And it's pretty ordinary to me. So I realized how important it was. So I've been doing it for 12 years now. And I didn't know initially if I was going to stay doing it, but obviously I'm still doing it.
Well, reporter, teacher, professor, attorney, I don't know what else we can say, but you are,
Grandfather.
We are so happy, and we are looking forward to inducting you in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much, Penny.
We have an opportunity to talk to award winner Eileen Buckley, who is probably one of the most favorite, famous, and well-known people in the media because of her such a varied career that she has engaged in over the years. And also, she's one of my best and oldest friends, so I am so excited to have an opportunity to congratulate her. Congratulations, Eileen. And how excited are you about entering the Hall of Fame?
Judge, thank you. First of all, it's wonderful to be a part of this. I am overwhelmed. It feels very surreal. Watching so many veteran broadcasters through the year go into the Hall of Fame, you never think you're going to climb that ladder in your career and all the work you're doing in between. So to be here today with this incredible class, too, and a lot of my colleagues that I've been in the field with for years, waiting on stories, working on stories in the field together, it's great to see all of them together. So very exciting.
You have been involved in, as I said, many different aspects of the media, as we pointed out, radio and then finally television. Do you find, is there a difference in your approach to the two media?
There really is. In radio, you have somewhat of an independency in your work. I mean, you talk about, you know, backpack journalists. I always felt that I was like an early backpack journalist in radio because you had all your equipment, you had all your cords and different things. You were the troubleshooter of everything out in the field. You didn't have anybody really to turn to. And you, of course, you know, gathered your interviews, edited your interviews, did everything yourself. In television, fortunately, I get some help. I get some help with video photography, work from some of the greatest photographers we have in our place, editing as well. And I really get to hone in on that storytelling part. So yeah, there are some differences, but when it comes down to telling a story and being a journalist, that really, those skills are right there.
I know a big difference. You don't have to get dressed or look decent for radio. And that's only girls, only ladies like us can think about that.
I don't know. You know me, Judge. I've always worn my dress and heels. In fact, one of the fire commissioners many years ago said to me, Eileen's the only one that shows up at a fire in her heels walking around the fire hoses. So just kind of a thing. You knew my dad. He was a lawyer. I think he lived in his suit all the time, so I kind of take after him. So I was always dressed up no matter what. But yeah, you worry about those things more in television. You know, if you're out on a story for hours and then you've got to do your live shot. Oh, I better check my hair, put some lipstick on, so a little different.
And us lawyers have to always worry about appearance too, as you just pointed out. You know,
That's right.
Are you amazed at how long a varied career that you've had?
It really is. I mean, I've worked basically, this is my 36th year now in broadcasting, and 34 of it was mostly in radio, doing many different things that I would say about 9 to 10 stations I worked at, and some of them were in cluster groups too. So I've watched the industry change a lot from the 80s, and it went into deregulation in the 90s. And I think the most amazing thing is I've been able to survive in something I have a passion for and I love. But I give a lot of credit to my husband for always supporting me. I'm missing a lot of dinners and time together because I was always working on my career.
It's not amazing because your hard work and dedication has shown over the years, and we can't wait to induct you into the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much, Eileen.
I'm so honored, and it's wonderful to see you. Thank you.
Now we have an opportunity to talk to what is known as a behind-the-scenes person, Andy DeSantis. But Andy is one, I think, of the few photojournalists here in Western New York that is so well known. He might as well be a media personality because of all the experience he's had. Andy, how do you think in your career developed? How do you think it developed to where you are now?
I think mainly from the people I learned from. And, you know, when I first started out, I had several mentors and several photographers that took me under their wing and taught me the ropes, not to mention the great reporters I worked with, Rich Kellman and Scott Brown, and I can't name them all, but when I first started out, they really helped me out, and I try to learn something new every day. Till this day, I try to learn something new every day, and then I pass it on to the younger photojournalists.
You know, people say, like the reporters or the on-air people, that they would be nothing. They couldn't do their work if it wasn't for you. How do you feel about that?
Well, without us, it would be radio, right? I mean, but, you know, there are so many gifted reporters that I've worked with over the years that really wrote to the video, and you know, you'd get back after shooting a story, and you couldn't believe the great storytelling that you were being a part of. And they used your video and your sound to make a great story. And you always felt. I remember a couple of times saying I would have worked free for today because the story turned out so good. But I never told my bosses that.
No, because if you would, it wouldn't work. I know this is hard and not fair, but what are maybe two of the stories that you worked on that really remain with you?
They made a mistake, which was the Anthony Capozzi story, and Scott Brown and I worked very closely with the family. We did an hour special, and it turned out really well. In fact, we won an Emmy in New York under news specials, but we ended up getting very close to the Capozzi family, telling their whole story. He was incarcerated for 22 years, and that was one. And another one that was more fun to do was Buffalo's Beatle blunder, and that was the fact that the day after the Beatles were on at Sullivan, WKBW Radio had the opportunity to bring them to Buffalo for their first American concert for $3,500, and we interviewed Danny Neverth, and they decided that $3,500 was too much. So the Beatles had an open date on Monday, and Tuesday they played the Coliseum in Washington, but we called it Buffalo's Beatle blunder, and to this day, Danny regrets that.
The one that got away. The one that got away.
Was a fun story to do.
Well, all of your stories that you worked on, I know, have had a great impact here in West New York, and congratulations. We can't wait for the induction in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, we have reached the top. We are talking to the president of we reached the top. You're the top. And you have such a hard job and worked so hard. Tell us about the event itself, what we can look forward to.
So we're very excited. We actually ran into a good problem to have because we have been at WNED for so many years and they've been wonderful hosts to us, but we kind of outgrew the space because our event has gotten so much bigger. So we're really excited to be moving to the Admiral Room this year. Maybe give people a little more space as they're walking around. And it's a new, interesting location, and it's our 25th anniversary for the Buffalo Broadcasters Association. So it just kind of brings a different flair to it, and we're so excited to be there. And again, very gracious to our hosts in the past, but good problems to have as we're moving forward, and more people are getting involved with the organization, which is really exciting.
Being too successful is not a problem, Katie. Tell us about the organization in case some of our viewers are not familiar.
Well, so the Hall of Fame is the biggest event that we have every year where we honor past broadcasters, people who've really made a mark, a wonderful impact on the broadcasting industry in Buffalo. And we are so lucky to have so many talented people in Western New York, people who have continued their careers here, people who've taken them elsewhere. So it's a pleasure to be able to have any part in honoring them. I really appreciate doing that. And then as far as the organization goes, our other large mission is to digitize so much film that has been past video that is sitting right now in archive space. And the thing about sitting images like that is that it might start to deteriorate. We could potentially lose it. So our goal is to make sure that we digitize the different mediums that need to be digitized so that we don't lose that history from all the different stations we have been working with as many as we can, and we're working to make sure that we don't lose that moving history, because that's the history of our city, and it's so important to us that it is around for the future.
And we're glad we have an opportunity for you to bring this to the attention of the public, because they may not be aware of it. They might want to help, they might want to contribute, and they might want to join our organization, right?
Absolutely, and there's a way they can do all three of those things. Yeah, no, absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers, but also on our website, the Buffalo Broadcasters Association website, there is a link where you can donate, and so much of the donations, basically it just goes into all of the events we do, but finding more grant money, working towards finding that the bigger grants that we can use and utilize to do that digitization. It's not very easy to do, so every little bit helps. So yeah, we are always looking for volunteers for our different events, and then if you ever want to donate, right on our website, there's a donate button, and yeah, it means a lot. Every little bit helps, as I said.
And new members.
New members, absolutely. You can get a membership there too. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that we have some very exciting hosts for this year's event. William Fichtner and Linda Pellegrino, who have agreed to host this being our 25th anniversary. We have these wonderful hosts. I mean, Linda has such a wonderful past career here. She's unbelievable. I was lucky enough to have worked with her and to have learned from her, so I know how fantastic she is. And William Fichtner coming in, and Buffalo, Western New York area means so much to him, and here he is just giving back to his community again, so we really appreciate that.
We're so lucky here. We have had so many well-known people and have successful people both behind the scenes and on the media, on the air, but they always remain loyal and true to Buffalo.
Yes, we are. It's something about Western New York, right?
Yeah, it's something in the air.
Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait for the Hall of Fame. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of the inductees. If you'd like more information on the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame Awards and the work they do, go to their website, buffalobroadcasters.com. That's all the time we have for this edition of The Big Picture. Remember to join us every week for Western New York's only topical television talk show, and join the conversation on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Thanks for watching the show, and thanks for watching WBBZ-TV.